Hello fans and frenemies, Draikinator here, and as you can see, I got a haircut, but I had a lot of requests. Requests, but like, I posted the final map for the night the lights went out in Thunderclan, and it came out amazing. I'm blown away. What people can create when they just want to make something is incredible. Like, everybody just had a weekend, that's it, and just bam! It's amazing. And it's why I really like running these weekend maps like this, or these really short form maps. The pressure is on with time, obviously. Like, you have to get it done really soon, like you have to start it now. But pressure is off in other things. Like, unless you like completely don't follow the script or you really goof something up really badly, I'm really not going to call you on it pretty much no matter what. If there's something there that I think, oh, well, I didn't really mean this, but I guess it's okay, I'm really going to let it go because, you know, it's a weekend map and the point is for you to make something and feel good. And I think a lot of these maps, for me, creating them is almost like a pit stop at time for bigger projects. Like we all want to be in, you know, 5 Giants. Like, we all want to do one of those big map parts, but they're gonna take like a while and you're gonna be working on them over a period of months, and it's nice to work on parts that are gonna be part of a finished product, even if it's not a fully animated product, even if it's something that's a little weird, like the night the lights went out in Thunderclan, or something that's just PMV animated, or whatever, you know, something that's less demanding, but you get to see it finished and you get to enjoy it and you get to show it to people. It fills you with a renewed energy to work on those bigger projects again, and that's what I really like to do, because I've got bigger projects that I'm working on, like Plagues and Hellfire, but I found I actually don't enjoy working on them and hosting them as much as I do these much smaller, more intensely focused projects. And I think that that's, I'm still gonna finish them, I'm still working on them, and they're still gonna be beautiful, don't get me wrong, they are. But I found that what I enjoy doing as like a project manager and as a host are these kinds of projects, which is why I've been focusing on them so much lately, is because I know I like them and I'm getting pretty good at them, and y'all seem to enjoy watching them and participating, and until you guys stop enjoying them, I'm basically just gonna keep doing them. Because there's people who still want to be in them and have fun, and that's really what I want to do. But today I want to specifically talk about the night the lights went out in Thunderclan, because I got a lot of comments from people who were like, what the hell happened? I don't get it. I'm very confused. And I knew when I launched it, it was weird. But I didn't think it would be that confusing, because ultimately the plot is just the plot of the song. Like, I've completely thrown out the actual story. I took all of the regular story and I just sort of chucked it out the window, and I said, the song has a story. And I thought of it sort of like a crossover AU, like, I'm sure you've seen crossover AUs before, like a Warriors Pokemon crossover, you know, or a Warriors Undertale crossover. Like, I'm sure you've seen people do crossover AUs where you mix up stories and characters and you say, well, what would what would it be like if one of the characters from this thing was a warrior cat? Like, what would they be like? What would their apprentice name be? You know, you start thinking about stuff like that, and that's kind of what this was, except the story that I was crossing warriors over with was the song, because the song has a specific narrative. It's not just like a theme, like a song about a breakup or something. The song explicitly follows a story, like it is a narrative. And this is a song that I really like, and I have a lot of opinions on, and I'm probably going to talk way too much about it, but there's the song and then there's the original music video for the song. And honestly, the music video even makes less sense, but the thing is the song doesn't actually make sense. You hear it the first time and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. And then you hear it the second time and you're like, wait a second. And then you hear it your 50th time and you're like, what the hell is going on? Before we get into the map, let's just go through the song. And the song starts out with the narrator singing about, a dude, and he's just coming back from Candletop, and he's getting into town, and then he goes to a bar before he goes home to his wife. And you don't really know where he's been other than, you know, Candletop. I I don't know what that means. Probably work of some kind, like, I don't know. I really didn't actually look that part up. Maybe I should have. But he's been at work, and he's coming home, and it's night, and he's gonna stop by the bar and have a drink before he goes home to his wife. And when he's there, he sees his friend Andy Woe. And he sits down, and he's like, "What's up, old buddy, old pal?" And his friend is like, "I got some bad news. You're really not gonna like it." And he tells him, "Hey, while you're gone, your wife has been hooking up with that Amos boy, Seth." And so the character, the main character that the narrator's talking about, gets really mad, and he's like, "Ah!" And then Andy is like, hey, calm down. Don't go crazy here. 'Cause I mean, it's not that big a deal, 'cause I also slept with her." And then it says, and then Andy got scared and he left the bar and he was walking on home because he didn't live far. He didn't have many friends and he just lost him one. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I could see why you didn't have many friends. Not only did you sleep with your best friend's wife, but then you told him about it and about other, like, "Hey dude, welcome back. Your wife's been cheating on you with another guy and also me." Like, you couldn't have come up with a better way to break this news to him? Or better yet, just not done this? What was going on with you? So Andy goes home. And then you've got the main character that the protagonist is that the narrator is singing about. And he goes home, and he goes into his closet, and he finds the only thing his daddy had left him, and that was a gun. So, there's like, you know, there's an implied narrative here that, you know, his dad didn't teach him or leave him anything other than, you know, violence. I'm just gonna go through the narrative specifically before I get into the little story beats, because I have a lot of opinions. But, so he gets his gun, and then he goes sneaking through the woods to Andy's house, possibly with the intent to kill him. But the thing is you don't actually know, we don't know if he's gonna go through it or if he would have, because when he gets there, he finds some tracks in that are too small for Andy to have made. The feet are too small. And then he gets up there, and he looks inside the porch, and Andy is dead, and he's on the floor in a pool of blood. And the protagonist is like, "Oh my god," and he's there with a gun to possibly kill the guy, but he's already dead, and he is freaking out. So he fires a shot, because this is supposed to be kind of like old school, like many years ago. I think in the in the music video they say it was 40 years ago, and this was made back in the early 2000s, so this was probably like 1960s that this would have taken place, 1950s, 60s. So the Georgia Patrol is around, so he fires a shot so that they will come, and they come and they find him with a gun that has recently been shot and a dead man on the floor that he has motive to have killed because he was cheating on him with his wife, and I guess everyone knew. I mean, if he knew about Seth, everybody probably knew. I get that feeling. So, and then it's, you know, there was a make-believe trial, and the make-believe trial is that they all just were like, "Yep, he did it. I mean, open and shut." And they didn't really investigate or look at anything, and nobody listened to him. And basically that night, they just called it a day, went home, and then hung him. And so that's the night the lights went out in Georgia, the night an innocent man died. And then you get the big reveal of the song, and it's the big moment. It's the plot twist. And it's that. And the thing is this whole song is spectacular as a story because it works as a proper whodunit. Like, if you've ever watched any whodunit TV show where there's been a murder at the beginning of the episode and you spend the whole time trying to figure out who did it, the best ones give you all the information over the story so that by the time the reveal happens and you figure out who did it, you could have made that guess and it would have been a valid guess. Maybe you didn't know why you were guessing some of the time, but you could make a guess. It's not like one of those ones where they're like, "This was the murderer." It was someone completely irrelevant and you didn't even see, you know? You could have made that guess. And that's the thing is here, the reason this works as a whodunit is because they did give you these little hints. When she says, you know, the only thing daddy had left him and that was a gun, she doesn't say like his daddy or, you know, the only thing his father had let him. It's just like the possessive, the only thing daddy had left him. And that's like a little hint that and then before that she also said, she did call, like in the very beginning, she called the protagonist brother, but it was so early already, like in the narrative of the song, you probably didn't notice it or pick up on it because you weren't invested yet, if that makes sense. So you get those little hints, those little clues, and then you get the big reveal here, this big moment where it's revealed that the narrator is a character in the story. She's not just an omnipotent narrator who is talking about the events or singing. It is someone who is inside of the story and actively participating, and reveals that it was her that did it. And it's like, whoa! And then obviously in the song she's just like, very woe is me, like, fuck. I killed the wife, and then I killed Andy, and now my brother's dead, and it sucks. And that's kind of where the song ends. And in the music video, it gets a little weirder because in the music video, she kills, and it's not just that the brother comes to Andy's house and finds him dead on the porch. Specifically, he comes into the house and finds his wife in bed with, I think it's Andy, it might have been someone else, it might have been Seth, I don't really remember. It was one of the characters. The wife was cheating on him, and the guy that the wife was cheating on with was the sister, the narrator's partner, her boyfriend. So they're cheating together, and in the music video, she kills both of them for cheating on her, and the brother is just incidentally involved, like. But the thing is, in the song, and you don't notice it the first time you listen to it, because it's such a big reveal that she's a character, that you don't notice they never give you a motive for why she did it. They never actively say why the narrator killed Andy or the wife. They don't explain that in any way. Like, maybe because she was like, oh, you cheated on my brother? You suck? But if that was true, why wouldn't she have done this before he got back from Candletop? I mean, obviously, probably killed the wife before then, but like, why? And if she killed Andy, why didn't she kill Seth? And just like, it doesn't really make sense. And I mean, maybe there was cheating on her too in this, but it's not said. You are not given a reason why she did it, because that's the thing. It doesn't matter why she did it in the song. That's not important. The song is not about the why, it's about the drama of it all. It's about the reveal and the emotional significance of finding out she killed them, but then her brother got blamed, and she's very upset about that. And it's bizarrely structured, but it works really, really well for some reason. And, so when the reason I decided to make this map was, and it's a really simple reason. Whenever I take a shower, I like to put on just music that I like, and I like to, imagine little music videos in my head. I'm sure lots of people do it. I do it when I'm, in a car and someone else is driving, or just when I'm chilling out. I just like to listen to music and think up little music videos, which is why I have 49 map scripts in my whip folder, because I don't know how to chill. But I was taking a shower, and I was listening to this song, and I was like, man, I really want to write a map script. Like, I really want to do a map to this song. I feel like it would make a really good, music video. Like, I feel like it would make a great video with a cool narrative. It would be dramatic and awesome to watch. And I don't have a clue who would work. Like, I couldn't figure out anyone. Nobody fit. And I spent I had actually been thinking about the song for a couple of days, trying to figure it out, but I'm standing in the shower, and I just said, to hell with it. I'm just gonna squeeze them in there. So I'm lathering up my hair, and I'm just like, okay, let's just do Brambleclaw. Let's just do it. And I was like, man, the more I'm thinking about it, the more it's working. The less sense it's making, but the more I'm really feeling it for some reason. And then as soon as I was like, wait, because I was trying to get Hollyleaf in there, and I'm like, well, Hollyleaf killed him, so obviously it'll be the reveal that Hollyleaf killed Ashfur, and then Brambleclaw got blamed for it. But I was like, man, it's gonna be really awkward when she's like, brother, but it's her dad? It's gonna be awkward, right? And then I was like, wait. Why don't I just do Tawny Pelt? It doesn't make sense. It never happened in the narrative, but why does it have to? It would be cool. And then the thing was, I was thinking about that reveal, and the most important moment in the song is the reveal, the plot twist that the narrator is a character, and that the emotionalness of the reveal of the narrator character moment. And I was like, wouldn't it be a plot twist if you're expecting it to be Hollyleaf, but like, she said brother, so you have the information to guess that it will be the sister, and then it's Tawny Pelt. Like, it just is Tawny Pelt. And I was like, that'll be really cool. It'll be a really cool moment. And that was the moment that sold me. And when I wrote the script in my whip folder, I didn't think I would ever actually do it. Like, I sat down and I was like, I'm glad I wrote this. I showed my friends and I was like, man, I'm never gonna run this. It's too weird. No one will want to do it. And then I literally couldn't stop thinking about it. I was obsessed. Like, I just couldn't get it out of my head because I was like, man, it's gonna make a really good video. It's a bizarre story and it doesn't make any sense, but it's gonna look really cool. It's gonna be really fun to watch. And then I was like, you know what? When I made Mama, We All Go to Hell, the emo map, my focus wasn't the story there either. I mean, for Mama, I picked obviously a story that's been done to death in maps. You know, the story of the three and everything. It's one we're all very familiar with. So I don't feel like I needed a lot of my maps. I'm trying, or my PMVs. I'm trying to say something. Like, I'm trying to convince you of a story that I think is good, or check out, I think that this would have been better, or this concept would be fun. I'm trying to convince you of something, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say something. But I wasn't really trying to say anything with Mama other than it's a cool video and it'll be fun to make and watch. And like, the focus was less on a storytelling premise and more on an aesthetic, artistic, and like as a music video, as a singular art piece, rather than like an animated fan fiction like some of mine are. And it came out amazing. So with The Light the Nights Went Out in Thunderclan, the night the lights went out in Thunderclan, I was like, why can't I just do that again? Like, the focus is on the aesthetic and the emotions and the drama and the impact, but not necessarily so much on the story. The story doesn't matter. The same way it doesn't matter in the original song, it's really just not that important. It's more about the individual story beats, and every time there's a reveal, the drama and the impact and the, oh, what's going on? And I thought that was going to make it work. And I think it did. I think it worked. I've gotten a ton of comments of people like, I have no idea what happened, but I really liked it. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. That's kind of what I was hoping to see. And I got it. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, now that I've gotten all of that sort of backstory explanation, just the story of the map. The story in the actual video. You start with Brambleclaw coming back. Originally, I was actually gonna have him coming out of the Dark Forest, because I kind of wanted to imply maybe he was battling with some inner demons, but then I was like, nah, he's just coming out of the woods. He's just coming back from hunting. More of the focus here is just gonna be on Brambleclaw not having a clue what's going on. So he comes back in, and if you recall, before the squirrel fight, Brambleclaw, Ashfur love triangle began, Ashfur and Brambleclaw were actually very good friends. So I was like, okay, well, Ashfur's standing guard at camp, so when Brambleclaw comes back, he says hello to his friend, because they had that little kerfuffle about squirrel fight, but maybe Brambleclaw hasn't quite realized that Ashfur hates him yet. And he's just like, hey buddy, I'm back. And Ashfur's like, hey Brambleclaw, I've got some bad news. And the thing is here is that he is 100% lying. Ashfur is like, hey, you know I'm your friend, you know we're close. And Brambleclaw, who's kind of dumb, is like, yeah, I know, yeah. And Ashfur's just like, bad news, squirrel flight while you were gone, she was cheating on you. And I thought here maybe I would have like a flash of Crowfeather or something, like that Amos boy Seth is someone, but then I was like, I don't think it matters, just he's talking about someone, but I don't think I need to flash a specific character or designate who that Amos boy Seth is in this narrative. You can fill in the blanks. I don't need to be that detailed. I thought it might detract from the actual, you know, the story, to get too fine into the details. But he's just like, she's been cheating on you, and Brambleclaw's like, oh, no. And Ashfur's like, yes, to tell you the truth, I've been with him myself. But he's lying. He's like a liar. In this narrative, instead of the fire scene, I guess, this is what he's trying to do, is manipulate Brambleclaw into hating her. So his goal is to get Squirrelflight to be miserable because her husband now just thinks she's a jerk. So instead of being mad at Brambleclaw, he's like, I'm gonna be even closer friends with Brambleclaw so that Squirrelflight will have no friends. And I think that's pretty devious. So then you see him kind of laughing maniacally, like, ha, I can't believe it worked, I can't believe he fell for it, behind a bush, while Brambleclaw, like, stares daggers at Squirrelflight across the clearing, and Squirrelflight's sitting with Leafpool, just completely oblivious, no idea that he is furious. And then we see Ashfur, aka Andy in the story, leaving camp, and he goes out, and he's just doing some good old hunting in the woods, you know, like warrior cats do. And Brambleclaw is like, then you see that part where, you know, he's looking in the water and he sees the reflection of Tiger Star, and he's, you know, he went back home and found the only thing Daddy had left him, and that was a gun. And he's thinking about the only thing that his father had truly left him, and that was a legacy of violence, and that he hadn't been left anything from, you know, from his father. He had been given basically nothing to work with other than a legacy of violence. And this moment is him deciding, I'm going to use that. I am going to use that violence. And so then he starts, you know, creeping after Ashfur, looking for him. And he finds Ashfur, and he sees him, like, across the river, and he goes back into the woods, and he's like, alright, I'm sneaking around the bushes. And he jumps out of the bushes, and Ashfur is dead. And he's like, oh. So he's like, oh my god, and then he shakes his head like, this is insane, he's dead. And I thought about it for a minute, but it, like, in the song it explicitly says he fires a shot, and I was like, how am I gonna do that? So I was like, have him like yowl, and I really hope that came across, that I was trying to allegorize the shot with him like yowling to call for help. I don't know if that was clear. I really, really hope it was. It's hard for me to be objective when I know what he's doing. So I guess let me know if that was super clear. I'm always trying to like gauge, because when I write my map scripts, I try to write them based on what I think the video will look like. So instead of saying, in this part, Ashfur and Brambleclaw are talking, I try to provide like shot examples, like in this part we see Ashfur and Brambleclaw sitting across from each other, and you see a shot of them lip syncing, and then a shot of Brambleclaw's claws coming out. Like, I try to give that kind of stuff, because I'm not just visualizing what's happening in, you know, in the narrative, but specifically what the scene should look like. And I also try to give, if I've given you a map part, you don't always need to stick 100% to my shots that I describe. I know some of my parts, I get very specific. You don't have to stick with them. That's my vision, and I'm trying to give you my vision because I feel it's the best way to convey what I want to be conveyed to the audience in your part. But if you feel like you have a better idea for how to convey that thought that needs to be conveyed in the story at that time, I mean, go for it. Totally go for it. But, so he yowls, and then a patrol of Cloudtail and Hollyleaf and Graystripe and Firestar are coming by. And the reason I did Hollyleaf and Cloudtail is 100% just, I thought they were good choices. I just thought they were people that were very close to Firestar, and I thought that the dichotomy of a black cat and a white cat would be pretty cool. I guess also there was a gray cat, because there's Graystripe, so I really just threw in all the grayscale cats. Didn't mean to do that. But, so then they, you know, they're like, oh my god, you killed him! And Brambleclaw's like, this looks pretty bad, don't it? So they bring him back to camp, and they have their make-believe trial, and then I was like, well, then they're gonna hang him, so how am I gonna do that? But then I was like, alright, it's gonna be a little gruesome, and I hope it, like, I explicitly requested, and I do remember Cranberry got this part, and Cranberry and me, like, talk on Twitter all the time, so I was like, whew, I could explain my intention with this. I really wanted that shot where he's, like, hung, per se, in the foxtrap, to be a silhouette, to be kind of tasteful. Like, I don't want it to be super gross. I don't want to be gross. But I was like, I thought it would be cool that, you know, they hung him in the foxtrap because, you know, obviously he killed Hawkfrost by this point in the narrative. If Hollyleaf is alive, then that means Hawkfrost is dead. And I was like, I just thought it would be a cool parallel that, like, you know, he had chosen that violence when he picked up his claws and he went to go follow it, and now, even though he didn't go through with it, the violence that caught Hawkfrost was coming back to get him too. Just the act of choosing it caught up with him, even though he didn't follow through because he didn't have a chance. And we'll never know, he'll never know if he actually would have done it. But, so they, you know, they have their make-believe trial, and Firestar feels really bad. He's like, I can't believe it. He fell victim to his father's evil, just like I knew he would. But really hope he wouldn't. So Graystripes made the new deputy, obviously, because he was deputy before, so it just makes sense. And he doesn't even care. He's like, screw Brambleclaw, that guy sucks. And then, you know, they pick up his body and they bring it back to town, and that's when you get the big reveal of Tawny Pelt. We zoom across the river and we see her singing very sadly, and then she comes across around the river, because ShadowClan is directly across the water. You got RiverClan over here, and then WindClan over here, I believe. It might be the other way. I think it's this way. That's how it is in my head, anyway. And then you got ShadowClan directly across the lake. And so she comes across the lake, and she finds the spot where they killed Brambleclaw, and there's, you know, blood on the ground, and she touches it, and she's like, oh, gasp! So then she's filled with rage at the unjust killing of her brother, because she was like, I killed Ashford and Squirrelflight. And the thing is, in the song they never tell you why she killed them. So I spent a bunch of time trying to come up with a reason that I could put in why she would kill them. Like, maybe she was cheating on Brambleclaw with Squirrelflight. Like, maybe Tawny Pelt Squirrelflight was a thing. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, I was like, Ashford Tawny Pelt? Ew, no. I was trying to come up with anything. I was thinking in my brain. I was trying to come up with any idea. And then I realized, if they don't explain it in the song, I don't think I should explain it in the video. I want it left up to your interpretation. The same way the song tells you it's not important why she killed him. And also, I thought it would be the same here. It's not important why she killed them. It's also up to your interpretation. Whatever you think is the reason she killed them is gonna be the reason, because, you know, the story is however you interpret it. That's how stories like this are. It's your interpretation. So she, you know, she's so mad that her brother was unjustly murdered, and so she runs all the way to Thunderclan, and she runs straight through the camp, and then she tackles Firestar. And that's where my script cut off. I was like, cut off right before she lands. You don't know what happens. And at the time when I first wrote it, I was thinking that would, in fact, be the end. I was thinking it would be a cool end that didn't tell you anything, and you were left wondering, like, what happened? You know, like, how did it go down? Is she okay? Woo! But then I got a lot of comments of people who were very upset at not knowing what was gonna happen. A lot of people, like, were commenting on the map call, like, but what happens afterward? And so I started thinking, well, what's gonna happen afterward? And I can't even remember what map, but I was watching a couple of different maps recently, and I was just, man, I was really into the credits. And I've done a couple of different kinds of credits with maps, and I never feel good about them. Like, I always feel like they do their job, but I've never made a good end credits that I feel like was really awesome. I mean, Mama's was pretty good. I feel like it went a little bit too fast, but it was really hard to set up. I'm not very good at doing credits. I probably spent 12 hours on the credits for Mama. Oh my god. I don't want to admit that. So I wanted to do something different this time. I wanted to try something new. And the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have a completely out of nowhere, like, epilogue scene during the credits? So, because I always premiere my maps so people can watch them live, and there's like a little chat on the side and people can type in the chat live, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you're in the live, like, premiere chat and oh my god, the story's not done, there's a secret end story. Like, I really wanted to see how people would react. I really wanted to see the chat go, whoa, wait, it's still going? What's happening? What is this? And I was like, this will be fun. This is the perfect map to try something weird like this, because it's a weird map, and I think people will appreciate something weird going on. And I mean, they did. It seems like people really enjoyed the weird ending I gave it. But so during the credits, Tawny Pelt is at the lake. Now, this is not how fox traps work. Once you're in it, it snaps. However, I really wasn't sure how to visually convey that, other than her just, like, standing in front of the fox trap. But I thought it would look a lot cooler if I just put the rope around her neck. I just thought it would look better. And I thought that you would get the general idea visually. You know, sort of wibbly-wobbly, don't worry too much about it, the same way a lot of the other plot points here and a lot of the specifics, just don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about it too much. It's like, why do they keep putting a fox trap back in this specific spot when all it catches is feral cats? Don't worry about it. So Graystripe has taken over as leader of Thunderclan since Firestar is dead. Now, I did give him a little leader mark on his forehead, but you're welcome to ignore that. And you can interpret this as Graystripe is there, he's the leader of Thunderclan, but he hasn't gotten his lives yet. Or you can interpret this as he does have his lives, but he just loses one of them, and obviously, like, they do take a little while to come back. Like, they die and then they're dead for a while, and then they come back later. But they do go down for a little while, and they can't do anything. They take a little nap. But Graystar is like, hey, your girl killed Firestar. We want, like, justice. We have to do something. And Blackstar is like, I mean, that was just cold-blooded murder. I really can't argue with you. We do have to punish her. And Graystripe's like, yeah, we want to kill her. And he's like, I mean, I guess I've also executed people, so I really don't have a good excuse. So they go out to the lake, and you can see that Graystripe is like, yeah, screw Tawny Pelt. But Blackstar's not really feeling good about it, because he really likes Tawny Pelt. And Tawny Pelt was never deputy under Blackstar. But she should have been. So I'm literally just going to ignore that she wasn't and say that she was. Because why not? Honestly, like, I don't even think you need to think she was. Maybe you could think she just yoinked leadership somehow. Maybe there was some magic. Maybe she just went to, maybe she saw Blackstar die and was like, and went straight to the moon pool. Like, maybe she didn't consult anyone. Totally up to you. Again, this is one of those things that it's up to personal interpretation. I literally just came up with that idea that she was like, oh, he's dead and the deputy doesn't know. And then just went to the moon pool herself. And StarClan was like, eh, we gave Tiger Claw 9 lives. Can't get any worse. But Graystar and Blackstar battle, and Blackstar dies, and it was his last life. Why not, you know? He was weird and old. We don't know where all of his lives went. We can just say this was the last one. And so he dies, and then Tawny Pelt, like, sees her chance for leadership, and either she's deputy, or she's not deputy and she just yoinks it, or whatever happens, but she sees her chance, and she yoinks it, and then she gets her 9 lives, and she becomes evil Tawny Star, I guess? I mean, I'd call her evil. She's murdered a lot of people in this AU. So, it's a weird one. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just kind of a weird song-based AU for the point of... And again, the reason why this end credits was so out there is when I was thinking about how to end it, I was actually thinking of some way tamer endings. Some way you would see like an ending where she's just like standing in the Thunderclan camp and Firestar is dead and everybody's like crowding around her as she like gives herself up. And that was like kind of one of my original ideas, just something simple, but then I was like, no. The major point of the song, like the big moment, is a reveal of a major plot twist. You know, the narrator is a character. I think that the ending, if I wanted to really, you know, convey the song and feel like a good ending, it should be a plot twist. It should be something completely insane, something you would never have seen coming, but something cool. It has to be the rule of cool. It doesn't have to make sense, but it has to be cool. You need to be watching it and go, yeah! What? Yeah! That's what I want you to feel. And I think I got that. I saw a lot of people like, yeah! What? Yeah! So I think I did it. I think I nailed it. I hope I nailed it. This is my weirdest map. This is my weirdest map bar none. This is weirder than any PMV I've done, weirder than any map I've done, weirder than maybe even any fanfic I've written, and I've written some weird ones. It's a weird one. But I think it did its job. I think it was a fun video. I think it had a cool aesthetic. I think everybody who worked on it really enjoyed working on it. At least it seemed to me, based on the interactions I had with the artists who worked on this project, is that everybody had a really good time and felt like they got to make something cool and creative and then get to see their work in a cool finished product and enjoy it and, you know, enjoy it with their friends and everything. That's really what I like about maps, is getting to show the finished product to people. Like, look what I did! I'm in this! I helped make something bigger happen! Isn't that cool? And I really hope that these weekend maps can be that for everybody. Just a little like, yeah! I'm in another one! I did it! It's awesome! We helped make this finished thing! And just like a good feeling of productivity and finishing stuff and being awesome! That's what I like making. And I think I nailed it with this one. I know it's weird. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you just gotta remember that it's not supposed to. It's not the point. The point is just rule of cool. It's supposed to be intense, dramatic, and emotional. And if you think it did that, let me know. And if you think I really goofed it up and it was way too out there and I goofed it all just to hell and back, I mean, I guess let me know either. I really do want to know the honest answer. I had fun making it, so even if every single reply is, you made something weird and we didn't like it, I'll still be happy that I did it. But do let me know the honest truth. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've never done a map explained kind of thing before, or PMV or whatever. Like, I've talked about my AUs, but I've never done one like about a map before. But I felt like I really had to for this one, based on the amount of wait, what comments? I really feel like people needed more information, really wanted more information. So, if this was helpful, let me know. If you want to see more of these kinds of things, I guess also let me know. I don't know. I'm just a YouTuber, man. I don't know nothing about nothing. Anyway, that's all for this time. Get yourself.